I know people in government, some of them have 5 passports. They are just waiting. Once they hear small noise, just catch the next plane, say bye-bye to Nigeria. From there, they'll be phoning. Hello, how is Nigeria? Me, I only have Nigerian passport, no visa, nothing. I put all my eggs in Nigerian basket. That is why I'm very passionate about how to develop this country, because I know I don't have any other choice. I want to keep this presentation to be very brief so that it can sink in. I summarize again. If we continue the way we are doing now, the way we are financing our budget now, deficit financing, without putting any money into projects that can generate finished products, that can give us value added. If we cannot do that and we continue in this way, by the year 2030, Nigeria will be in chaos. You think it's far? It's not far at all. When Obasanjo was in government, Soludo and Obasanjo, they were writing Vision 2020. They thought 20 years is far. They are still around now. 2020, nobody talk about it anymore because they didn't have any realistic plan to industrialize Nigeria. They were just doing hocus pocus. But now, the situation is becoming critical. It is at this point that we have to try to save the Nigerian ship from sinking into the bottom of Atlantic Ocean. Look at what's happening in Mali. Everywhere is completely disorganized. South Sudan, disorganized. Sudan, disorganized. Nigeria with a population of 250 million people, by the time people become so impoverished, this country cannot be managed. There will be chaos everywhere. We need to take immediate, urgent action. If you don't know where to start from, just copy what Dangote has done. Focus on production of urea fertilizer. You can see that there is a huge demand for it in the whole world. That is why right now all countries are crying. They need urea. They need urea because it is being produced by Gulf countries. Nigeria, the number 9 largest country that has gas reserve, is only Dangote that is producing urea. We need to do better than that. I see people in government in a long convoy, they are rushing where? Just to go and hold political meetings. How do we win this election? I don't want this guy there, I want the other guy. How do we do it? Oh, this guy is a political engineer. He knows how to manipulate things. That is not what we need in Nigeria. We need to see convoy of government rushing to a place where they're going to sit down and say, how do we solve the problem of Nigeria? How do we bring industrial manufacturing into Nigeria so that we can save this country, so that we can give the black man dignity? The summary is very simple. If we continue to do deficit financing, because it is already clear that the oil that we think we have, oil and gas put together, this is a statement of fact. I don't talk blah, blah, blah. 14 point something trillion is what we got from oil and gas revenue. The other 45 trillion went to foreign companies that are doing the drilling. The Exxon, Mobil, the Ajib, the Total, and all this one. They are the foreign companies. They have all that money. All we have from oil and gas that we make noise about is just 14 point something trillion. Even if we produce twice the amount of that, which is not possible, it still will not solve our problem. The only thing that can solve our problem is to add value to raw material that we already have in the quantum. And that can be done just for us to take the initiative, for us to decide that we can do it. I said it before, let me just repeat that quickly here. One of the biggest problems we have now is that the election cycle is very short, so everybody is looking for how to win election. Nobody has time to plan for Nigeria. Scrap this democracy. People will say, why should you do that? Democracy is even destroying America. It's because of democracy that Trump cannot move into Iran. Otherwise, if he's wasn't afraid of midterm election, that other Republicans will vote against him, they put soldiers on the ground. In 2 months, they'll take care of Iran. Putin has been fighting now for over 4 years without winning. He doesn't have any problem. He's still there. China, without democracy, they were able to make the most significant economic transformation in the history of mankind within 40 years. Moved 800 million people out of poverty into the middle class. Today in Nigeria, we are creating more poverty because we are not adding value to raw material. There's a long list of products that can be made, but we don't have light. We don't have electricity. We don't have funding. Do you know that because government is borrowing so much money from the banks, it is almost impossible for businessmen to get loan? Because between a businessman and government, who will a bank prefer to give money to? Who will a mutual fund prefer to give money to? They prefer to give the money to government because they know that government can never fail. But I tell you, if we continue in this trajectory, government will fail. Government will be unable to finance the budget. Will be unable to pay interest on loans that we have already taken. And everything will come down, crashing on top of all of us. I know people in government, some of them have 5 visas, 5 passports. They are just waiting. Once they hear small noise, just catch the next plane and say bye-bye to Nigeria. From there, they'll be phoning. Hello, how is Nigeria? Me, I don't even have a passport. I only have a Nigerian passport, no visa, nothing. I put all my eggs in Nigerian basket. That is why I'm very passionate about how to develop this country, because I know I don't have any other choice. At a time, I went to Ghana to invest, and I discovered that there's no place like home. Nigeria is a great country. We can make it very, very great if we decide to start manufacturing something. That is the only way we are going to be able to get out of this problem. Because our people are ready to work. But people are working, and inflation and hyperinflation, devaluation is eroding the value of the money they hold in their hands. And the companies that they work for, because they are making very marginal profit or zero profit, cannot increase their revenue, cannot increase their salaries. The only way out is to produce finished products, because the multiplier effect, the quantum leap from raw material to finished product is very huge. That is why you see a country like Japan, zero raw material. Even their gas, they have to take it in as liquefied natural gas to power their factories. They use it to power their factories and use it as feedstock to produce finished products. They take iron from Guinea, melt it, and make a jeep and send to Africa. Make highest buses they bring to Africa. When we have all the raw material here, they don't even have it. We have been stupid for a long time. It's not time for us to stop the stupidity. It is. If not for your own sake, for the sake of your children and great-grandchildren, we have a right to be here. Those people that are in government, if you cannot do a 180-degree turn, do a 35-degree adjustment and start a small process where you encourage Nigerian entrepreneurs to start manufacturing things. If you can have 50 plants that are doing fertilizer, it will not be enough for the world. And Nigeria has enough feedstock to do it. And that alone can even change everything about Nigeria. If we can take natural gas, which is made of methane, and produce all the products I've talked about. If you can take from petroleum, even naphtha, and produce finished products, you see value will be added. If you can make sodium hydroxide, caustic soda, value will be added, because we use all these things, every day in our daily lives. These are things that can change Nigeria, that can make Nigeria great. That way, government can spend as much as it wants. The moment you are now a manufacturing country, even if you increase your deficit, it doesn't matter, because you are raising enough revenue to take care of it. But now, we borrow to pay for interest, the money we already borrowed before. How long can you continue that? As an individual, who can continue to borrow money and use the same money he borrowed from one bank to pay another one and survive over the long haul? Nobody. And so it is, no country can also do that. All the countries that tried it before, they all failed. May God not allow us to fail. I remain your advocate for the industrial development and industrial manufacturing of Nigeria. My name is Dr. Cesar Osahene Yayi. Until next time, bye-bye.